Are you ready to unlock the hidden potential of your mind and expand your imagination beyond boundaries? In this video, we delve into the profound teachings of Buddhism to guide you on a transformative journey towards expanding your mind and nurturing your creative spirit. 1. Always want to learn new things. To live a full life, you must not be afraid. Don't worry about what will happen to you, and don't rely on anyone. You're only free when you say no to all help. This message tells us to rely on ourselves, learn on our own, and never stop collecting information. Getting better at something is like adding more colors to our mental palette. As we learn new things, pick up new skills, and have new experiences, we are given a new color to use when painting our mental picture. We can make drawings that are more colorful and interesting when we have more colors. Having the mind of a beginner is one way to keep wanting to learn new things. This idea is called Shoshin in Buddhism. It means studying the subject with an open mind, a desire to learn, and no preconceived ideas, just like a beginner would, even if you are learning at a high level. Think about a kid who is discovering the world for the first time. They look at everything with interest and wonder, not with any opinions or ideas already formed. They aren't afraid to learn, make mistakes, or ask questions. This is the spirit of Shoshin, and it can help us come up with great ideas. Accepting the idea of change, or enika in Buddhist language, is another way to keep wanting to learn new things. In life, nothing stays the same. Everything is always changing. When we understand and accept this fact, we can learn with a sense of appreciation and urgency. Think of a flower that is fully bloomed. We know it won't last forever, even though it's beautiful. Now that we know this, we love the flower even more and want to learn as much as we can about it before it goes away. In the same way, realizing that everything changes makes us want to learn as much as we can while we still can. Picture a spider's web that sparkles in the morning sun because of the dew on it. This web is linked to everything around it. Each strand is linked to every other strand. In the same way, every piece of information, skill, and experience is linked to a huge number of others. When we understand these links, we can see how learning and thought can go in any direction. Mindfulness and focus, or samadhi in Buddhist terms, are also important for learning new things. Being aware means that we are fully present and interested in what we are learning. You can learn more about your subjects, understand them better, and remember them better when you focus. Imagine an expert reading an old book. They are totally focused on their work and lost in it. They are not sidetracked by things going on around them or by their own feelings and thoughts. For the same reason, practicing mindfulness and attention can help us learn better and expand our imaginations more. A big part of growing our imagination is staying interested in learning new things. It means developing a beginner's mind, accepting that things change, realizing that everything is linked, and practicing mindfulness and focus. 2. Don't be afraid to try new things. Buddhism teaches that the idea of non-attachment is a key part of getting rid of fear and stress. Let go of our fixed thoughts, expectations, and wants. This is what non-attachment means, not being indifferent or detached. We are open to new situations, willing to take risks, and not afraid of failing when we are not attached. This way of thinking helps us try new things and expand our minds. Think about a river that has a dam in the way. It's not possible for the water to flow easily, reach new places, or feed new life. When we hold on to our fears and worries too, we stop ourselves from growing and using our imaginations. When this happens, we stop moving forward and can't consider new options. Accepting doubt is another important part of trying new things. Buddhism doesn't see doubt as a threat. Instead, it sees it as a chance to learn and grow. We have to use our instincts, wisdom, and imagination to find our way because it's like a fog that blocks our view. Think about a tourist who gets lost in the fog. They might think this is bad news and decide to give up and go back. They might also see it as a journey, a chance to try new things, find hidden treasures, and see how brave and skilled they are. Also, we can choose to see uncertainty as a danger or an opportunity when it comes up. Mindfulness and understanding are what the Buddha taught were the best ways to get rid of attachment. When we are aware of our ties and know why we hold on to them, we can start to let go. Let's work on not being attached to anything. This will free our minds to try new things and think of new options. Accepting doubt is another important part of trying new things. Buddhism doesn't see doubt as a threat. Instead, it sees it as a chance to learn and grow. We have to use our instincts, wisdom, and imagination to find our way, because it's like a fog that blocks our view. Think about a tourist who gets lost in the fog. They might think this is bad news and decide to give up and go back. They might also see it as a journey, a chance to try new things, find hidden treasures, and see how brave and skilled they are. Also, we can choose to see uncertainty as a danger or an opportunity when it comes up. Buddha taught that hope and courage are the best ways to deal with uncertainty. Faith not in a higher power, but in our own ability to get through the fog and find our way. Courage not to rush into the unknown without thinking, but to face our fears, take smart risks, and keep going even when it's not clear what to do. When we want to try something new, we often have to leave our comfort zone. Buddhism sees the safety zone as a place where people get stuck and don't move forward. We feel safe and warm in this cozy nest, but it also stops us from moving, exploring, and growing. Think about a bird that stays in its nest all the time. It will never know the freedom of the open sky, the joy of flight, or the view of the world from a different angle. The same is true for our imaginations. If we never leave our safe zone, they will never really grow. Buddha taught that we need to be brave and determined to leave our comfort zones. We need courage to face our fears, try new things, and take chances. Strong will to keep going, to keep learning, to keep growing, even when things are hard, scary, or painful. Also, when you try something new, you usually mess up. In Buddhism, making mistakes is not seen as failing, but as a chance to learn and grow. That's how they are. Stepping stones that help us move forward, get better, and change. Think about a kid who is starting to walk. They will trip and fall, and they will get it wrong. They learn from their mistakes, grow, and get closer to their goal with each one. In the same way, we will mess up when we try new things. However, these mistakes are not fails. They are chances to learn and grow. The Buddha said that being aware and knowing is the best way to learn from our mistakes. Being mindful helps us see our mistakes and learn from them. Figuring out why we did them helps us figure out how to not do them again. Let's not be afraid of making mistakes, because that will help us use our imaginations more. We need to try new things in order to grow our imaginations. We have to get over our fears and worries, be open to the unknown, leave our comfort zones, and learn from our mistakes. Following the lessons of Buddhism will help you grow, learn, and find out more about yourself. 3. Try out different hobbies. Trying out new hobbies is a great way to keep our minds active, learn new skills, and see more of the world. We can learn new things, have new adventures, and come to better understand the world and ourselves on this journey. The practice of hobbies is seen as a way to practice awareness in Buddhism. Being fully present in the moment, fully engaged with our activity, and fully focused on our job is what we do when we have a hobby. In this state of awareness, we are not only taking care of our mental and emotional health, but we are also helping our imagination grow. Think of a painter who is lost in the act of making art. Their mind is on every brushstroke, their heart is on every color, and their spirit is on making their idea come to life. This is the power of hobbies. They can connect our minds, hearts, and souls to the here and now. But why is it important to try out different interests? Why not just focus on one thing you like to do, one hobby, or one passion? The answer lies in the Buddhist idea of diversity and how everything is linked. People who follow Buddhism believe that everything is linked and a part of a very large and complicated web of life. Everything, everyone, and every experience is linked to and affected by a huge number of other things and experiences. By trying new hobbies, we can start to see how everything is linked and learn about how different and complicated the world and ourselves are. For instance, someone who likes gardening might decide to try their hand at painting. Taking up this new hobby could help them value the land and the clay more, which is what their craft is built on. If they learn about how the ground, water, air, and fire all work together in pottery, they might get a better sense of how nature is linked. If they do that, they might get new ideas for planting and learn new things about and enjoy their original hobby. Trying out new hobbies can help us learn new things and see things from different points of view. Every hobby comes with its own set of problems to solve, lessons to learn, and chances to grow and learn. By doing a lot of different hobbies, we can gain a wide range of skills and points of view, giving us a lot of different ways to show our creativity and make sense of the world. For example, someone who likes to write might decide to learn more about photos. They could learn new ways to see the world and write about and show what they've experienced through this new hobby. Sometimes, just one picture can say 1,000 things. This could help them understand how powerful pictures can be. And by doing that, they might get new ideas for their writing and learn new ways to use words to paint vivid and interesting pictures. Playing around with different hobbies can help us meet new people, form bonds, and build a sense of community. For each sport, there is a community of people who are passionate about it and share the same interest. We can meet new people, learn from their experiences and points of view, and make our lives and imaginations richer by having a number of hobbies. For instance, someone who likes to cook might decide to try dance. They might meet a lot of different kinds of people through this new hobby. Each person will have their own story, experience, and point of view. They could learn creative new ways to move, talk, and bond with others of different kinds. They might get new ideas for what to cook, find new ways to combine tastes and textures, and find new ways to share their love of food with others. 4. Get better at things. The process of getting better at something is something that you do for the rest of your life. It's a journey that needs patience, hard work, and a strong desire to get better. As taught by Buddhism, this trip is an important part of the way to enlightenment. Someone who isn't honest and isn't good is worse than a wild animal, because they will hurt your mind along with your body. This lesson shows us how important it is to have friends and teachers who are good influences and can help us get better at things and use our imaginations. Think about an artist who wants to get better. These musicians will look for a skilled teacher who can help them on their way and improve their skills while also teaching them more about music. In the same way, if we want to get better at things and use our imaginations, we need to find good influences, people who can teach us, motivate us, and help us grow. But getting help from others isn't the only way to improve our skills. It's also about developing an inner discipline and a promise to practice regularly and get better. In his teachings, the Buddha said that concentration is the key to reaching our full potential for growth and change. Imagine a sportsperson who wants to get better. They will follow a strict training plan that will push their bodies to their limits. Each day, they will try to get better. In the same way, if we want to get better at things and use our imaginations, we need to make learning, growing, and improving ourselves a daily habit. To get better at what we do, we have to accept the concept of impermanence, which is one of the main ideas in Buddhism. We should always remember that nothing is permanent or set in stone. This idea helps us do that. When we know this to be true, we can let go of our attachments to past wins or failures and instead focus on the here and now, on how we can keep getting better. Think about a writer who wants to get better. The writers will keep writing, editing, and rewriting because they know their work is never really done and can always be better. In the same way, if we want to get better at what we do and use our imaginations, we need to accept the principle of uncertainty and know that our skills, knowledge, and views on the world are all always changing. We need to develop a spirit of humility and willingness in order to improve our skills. Pride and arrogance get in the way of awakening, the Buddha said. They keep us from seeing the truth and understanding the world as it really is. Imagine that a scientist wants to get better at what they do. They will be humble and honest in their work, ready to question what they think they know and ready to learn from their mistakes. In the same way, if we want to get better at things and use our imaginations, we need to be humble and open, ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to see the world in new ways. 5. Take a different look at things. Think about a prism, which is a simple piece of glass that can change a single beam of light into a rainbow of colors. The prism doesn't change the light. Instead, it shows what it really is and how beautiful it is. In the same way, when we look at things from a different angle, we don't change the world. We just see its true nature and beauty. Buddha taught that everything is linked and depends on everything else. It's not possible for something to exist by itself. Everything is connected to everything else in a very complicated way. We can start to understand these links and interdependencies when we look at things from a different angle. We can see how what we do affects other people and how their acts affect us. We can also see how we are all connected and part of the same whole. Two of the most important virtues in Buddhism are empathy and kindness. Seeing things from a different point of view can help us grow in these areas. We can understand how someone else feels, what they think, and what they've been through when we look at things from their point of view. By looking at the world through their eyes, we can feel truly connected and understand each other better. Changing the way we look at things can help us become wiser, which is another important Buddhist trait. Knowing facts and ideas isn't enough to be wise. You have to be able to see the world as it really is, with all of its connections and changes. When we look at things from a different angle, we can start to see past the obvious, past the false ideas that come from our wants and biases. When we start to see things the way they really are, we can become truly wise. Buddha taught that knowledge is the light that shone through the darkness of not knowing, not understanding, and not believing. We can start to get rid of this darkness and ignorance when we learn to see things from a different point of view. It's possible to start seeing the world for what it really is. When you look at things from a different angle, you don't just see the world in a new way. You really see it. Being able to understand how everything is related, how everything changes, and what things are really like. The goal is to develop empathy and kindness, as well as wisdom and a deep understanding of both ourselves and the world around us. Let us start this journey of the mind with the Buddhist teachings to help us. Let's keep wanting to learn new things, not be afraid to try new things, find new hobbies, get better at what we already know, and look at things from a different point of view. By doing this, let's learn, grow, and make up stories.